Recording log 2157. High Commander Azrael, Galactic Council Surveillance Division. I shouldn't be making this record, but someone needs to document the truth. Let future generations know that I, at least, tried to speak up against this madness. The council chamber's massive crystalline dome stretches above me as I watch the final vote tally appear. My heart sinks as the numbers flash across the display. 97% in favor. The motion passes. Earth will be abandoned to its fate. Council leader Nexus rises from his seat, his scaled skin reflecting the chamber's harsh light. The motion to establish a complete quarantine of Sol system has passed. All vessels are to withdraw immediately. Earth is now classified as a restricted zone until further notice. I can't hold my tongue any longer. And the humans? We're just going to leave them to die. Nexus fixes his compound eyes on me. Commander Azrael, your concern for lesser species is noted, but the pandemic ravaging their world is precisely why we cannot risk contact. The safety of the galactic community must come first. Lesser species. The words make my skin crawl. I've watched humans for decades from my observation post. There's nothing lesser about them. Request permission to maintain automated surveillance satellites, I say, keeping my voice steady. For scientific documentation. Nexus waves a dismissive appendage. Granted. Though I doubt there will be much left to observe in a few cycles. If he notices my slight bow contains more mockery than respect, he doesn't show it. I turn and exit the chamber, my ceremonial cape swirling behind me. The real reason for this abandonment has nothing to do with the pandemic. I've seen the classified reports, the projections of human technological advancement. Within a century, they'd be our equals. Within 2, our superiors. Can't have that, can we? Back in my private observation deck, I watch the evacuation unfold. The massive ships of the galactic fleet, previously cloaked in orbit around Earth, shimmer into visibility as they prepare to depart. Not a single human notices as their secret watchers abandon them. I activate my personal surveillance feed, cycling through views of major population centers: New York, London, Tokyo, Mumbai. The scenes make my stomachs turn. Hospitals overflowing. Mobile morgues in parking lots. Mass graves being dug by workers in protective suits. And yet, computer, magnify sector 7, coordinate 40, 7128 degree north, 74, 0060 degree west. The image zooms in on a New York hospital. A human female doctor, clearly exhausted, tends to patients well past her shift end. Her badge reads Dr. Maya Patel in the next bed. A male nurse, Thomas O'Brien, holds a data pad for an elderly patient to speak with family. I've seen this thousands of times, humans helping humans, fighting impossible odds, refusing to give up. Classification update. I speak to my recorder. Subject species continues to display remarkable resilience and social cohesion under extreme duress. Individual designate Maya Patel has now worked 47 standard hours with only minimal rest periods. Team cohesion remains high, despite 27% staff casualties. My third heart clenches as I remember the council's casual dismissal. They see only charts and threat assessments. They don't see the daily acts of courage, the stubborn refusal to abandon hope. I flip to another feed. A research facility in Berlin. Dr. Anna Schmidt leads a team working around the clock on vaccine development. They're making progress, even without our help. The help we could so easily provide. Computer, begin new encrypted recording series. Classification level Omega. Personal authorization code Azrael 773. The computer chimes acknowledgement. This is High Commander Azrael of the Galactic Council Surveillance Division, beginning historical documentation of Council Decision 2157A, designation Earth abandonment. Let the record show that on this day, we betrayed not only our principles but our own future. The humans deserved better. I pause, watching Dr. Schmidt review test results with her team. But they will survive. Of that, I'm certain. And when they do well, the council might discover that their little quarantine had unintended consequences. I smile, showing more teeth than strictly necessary. After all, if there's one thing I've learned about humans, It's that they're at their most dangerous when backed into a corner. And we've just backed them into the biggest corner of all. Another feed, a young girl draws chalk hearts on a sidewalk outside a hospital. "Thank you, heroes," she writes in careful letters. Computer, save footage. Timestamp 2157, 23:4. Append to historical record. The council thinks they've contained a threat. The fools. They've just guaranteed humanity will become one. I settle into my chair, preparing for a long watch. Someone needs to witness this. Someone needs to record humanity's finest hour. And someone needs to be ready when they finally reach the stars. Because they will. Oh, they will. End recording. Personal log, retired Commander Azrael. Earth year 2207. 50 years. Has it really been that long? My scales have grayed and my movements have slowed, but my surveillance equipment remains sharp as ever. Not that I need it much these days. Humans broadcast everything themselves now. I take a sip of heated nutrient broth, watching their global news network. Another breakthrough in quantum computing. The 7th this cycle. The Council's containment strategy might be the greatest backfire in galactic history. Computer, play historical comparison. Medical technology advancement, Earth, 2157 versus 2207. The holographic display shimmers to life in my private sanctuary on Proxima B. 2 timelines appear, and I can't help but laugh. Those brave doctors I watched half a century ago would barely recognize their profession now. Breaking news, the human anchor announces. Nanotech Solutions has successfully tested its new cellular restoration therapy, completely reversing aging in human trials. CEO Dr. Maya Patel Jr. attributes the breakthrough to her mother's work during the Great Pandemic. I pause the feed, my third heart skipping a beat. Dr. Patel's daughter. Of course. I watched her mother fight death with nothing but determination and outdated equipment. Now her child commands armies of microscopic machines that rewrite the very code of life. Computer, new entry. Section, unintended consequences. The Council's abandonment forced humanity to innovate at unprecedented rates. Without our interference, without our technology, they had to find their own ways. And by the stars, did they ever. I switch feeds to their space program. The massive orbital shipyards would give the Council fits if they could see them. Humanity didn't just recover. They launched themselves into space with a vengeance. My secure comm unit chimes. Speaking of launches. Commander, a familiar voice says. The documents are ready. Ah, Security Chief Raven. Still loyal after all these years. Still helping me atone. Send them through the usual channels, I reply. And Raven? Make sure they can't be traced. Already done, sir. The humans will have proof of the Council's decision by tomorrow. I click off, imagining the chaos these revelations will cause. Proof that we abandoned them. Proof that we watched them die. Proof that their quarantine was based on lies. But it's the other feed I'm watching that really makes my scales tingle with anticipation. The one showing their secret test facility in the Kuiper Belt. Computer, magnify Sector 12. The image zooms in on a sleek vessel, unlike anything humanity has publicly revealed. Project Prometheus, they called it. How fitting. Fire stolen from the gods. Captain Marcus Stone stands before his crew, his voice clear over the encrypted channel I definitely shouldn't be able to access. Ladies and gentlemen, in 10 minutes we make history. The FTL drive is spooled up. All systems are go. Humanity is about to join the galactic community, whether they want us or not. I check my messages. Yes, the Council remains blissfully unaware. Their sensor nets are focused on the inner system, watching humanity's decoy programs. No one is looking out here. No one except me. The ship's engines begin to glow with impossible light. Energy readings spike off my charts. They've done it. They've actually done it. Their solution to faster-than-light travel is nothing like our technology. It's better. Computer, begin recording. This is retired Commander Azrael, formerly of the Galactic Council Surveillance Division, recording humanity's first faster-than-light flight. Let history note that they achieved this not because of us, but in spite of us. The ship disappears in a flash of light that should be impossible. My sensors track it reappearing exactly where their calculations predicted, beyond Neptune's orbit. Perfect precision, perfect control. The Council thought they were containing a threat. Instead, they created exactly what they feared most: a humanity that developed completely outside their influence. A humanity that had to become stronger, smarter, more innovative than anyone could have predicted. A humanity that's about to knock on their door with 50 years of receipts. My comm unit chimes again. A message from an old contact in the Council. They're finally detecting the anomalous readings from the Kuiper belt. Far too late to do anything about it. I send back a single reply: you should have helped them when they needed it. Switching off the comm, I watch humanity's first FTL ship make another perfect jump. The crew's celebrations echo through my sanctuary. They don't know I'm listening, don't know that at least one of their abandoned watchers has become their biggest fan. Captain Stone's voice cuts through the cheers. Set course for the Galactic Council's capital world. Let's go introduce ourselves to the neighbors. I smile, showing all my teeth. Oh, this is going to be fun. Computer, end recording. And send a message to Security Chief Raven. Tell her to make sure she has good seats for tomorrow's council session. It's going to be quite a show. End log. Recording log: Emergency Council Session 220746. The council chamber erupts in chaos as the massive holographic screens display proof of humanity's arrival. Their ship, Prometheus, hangs in orbit above the capital world, its design unlike anything in known space. Council leader Nexus slams his ceremonial staff against the floor. Order. I demand order. Oh, now he demands order, I mutter to Security Chief Raven beside me. Funny how that works. The chamber doors slide open. The human delegation strides in, their expressions carved from stone. Ambassador Lyra Blake leads them, her ceremonial dress incorporating subtle armor that my old surveillance systems can barely detect. Behind her walks Captain Marcus Stone, still in his flight suit, and Dr. Amanda Torres, whose nanotech advances helped humanity recover from our betrayal. The council recognizes, Nexus begins, but Ambassador Blake cuts him off. Save the formalities, she says, her voice carrying to every corner of the chamber. We're not here for recognition, we're here for answers. The screens above shift to display historical footage. My footage. Hospitals overwhelmed, mass graves, and through it all, the council's ships departing. 50 years ago, Blake continues, your ships vanished from our skies. We thought we were alone. We were wrong. You were watching. Watching as billions suffered. Watching as we fought for survival. More footage plays. Council meetings. Voting records. The truth about the quarantine. Lies, Nexus shouts. These records are clearly fabricated. Time to play my part. I stand, my aged frame creaking slightly. They are not fabricated, Council leader. I should know. I recorded them. The chamber explodes again. Councilors from a dozen species shouting at once. Through it all, Ambassador Blake watches me with those intense human eyes. High Commander Azrael, she says, your surveillance records have been most helpful. Nexus's scales flush with rage. You dare betray the council? Guards, arrest the commander. The guards don't move. Security Chief Raven steps forward, her elite troops appearing at every exit. The security forces answer to me, Raven says, and I answer to my conscience. As do the merchants of the trading worlds, announces Trade Minister Cax, rising from his seat. And the Science Coalition adds another counselor. One by one, representatives of different species stand, not all of them, but enough. You see, Blake says to Nexus, while you were busy congratulating yourselves on containing us, we were busy making friends, sharing our advances. Did you know our nanotech can cure diseases your people thought irreversible? Our quantum computers can solve problems your systems found impossible. She gestures, and Dr. Torres steps forward, holding up a small device. This contains the cure for Nexus's species genetic degradation, Torres says. The one your scientists said would cause extinction within 1,000 years. We solved it last week. Nexus's compound eyes widen. Impossible. No, I say, moving to stand beside the humans. Impossible was surviving what you did to them. Impossible was advancing faster alone than most species do with help. Humanity specializes in impossible. This is a coup, Nexus shrieks. Guards. About that, Captain Stone says, speaking for the first time. Those aren't guards at the doors anymore. They're holograms. Your actual security forces are having a nice nap, courtesy of our neural dampeners. Non-lethal, of course. We're not monsters, unlike some. Nexus lunges for his private emergency teleporter. The device sparks and dies in his hands. Looking for this, Blake holds up a tiny quantum chip. We didn't just match your technology, Council Leader. We surpassed it. Your containment strategy had an interesting side effect. When you force a species to innovate or die, they tend to innovate in ways you never imagined. What? What do you want? Nexus's voice shakes. Justice, Blake says. But not revenge. We're better than that. Better than you. She turns to address the whole chamber. The old council is hereby dissolved. A new governing body will be formed with equal representation for all species, including humanity, including those you tried to leave behind. You can't do this, Nexus protests. Already done, Stone says cheerfully. While we've been talking, humanity's quantum network has integrated with your systems. Your ships are locked down. Your weapons are offline. Don't worry, it's temporary. Like the ambassador said, we're not here for revenge. I catch Security Chief Raven's eye and nod. Right on cue, she signals her troops. The remaining council loyalists are quietly escorted from the chamber. Commander Azrael, Blake turns to me. Thank you for your courage. Your records will ensure no one ever forgets what happened here. No, I say. Thank you. For proving me right about humanity. The screens above us shift again, showing Earth. Not the Earth of 50 years ago, racked by pandemic, but Earth today. Gleaming cities, orbital rings, ships preparing to explore the galaxy. The quarantine is lifted, Blake announces to the chamber. Earth is open to all species who come in peace and friendship. We have much to share. And those who don't come in peace, asks a nervous counselor. Captain Stone grins. Trust me, you don't want to know what else we developed during those 50 years alone. As the new council begins to form, I catch Dr. Torres studying one of our medical displays. Your technology, she says. It's quite primitive. Compared to yours? Yes. Funny how things work out. I want to help us upgrade it. I look at my aged hands, thinking of Dr. Patel from 50 years ago. Of all the lives we could have saved. Yes, I say. I believe I would. End recording. Final recording log, Commander Azrael, New Galactic Council Archives. Earth year 2208. The galaxy changed forever the day humanity revealed their true power, not with violence, but with something far more devastating, mercy. I watch from my new position as council historian as Ambassador Lyra Blake addresses the assembled representatives. The chamber, once a symbol of oppression, now shimmers with holographic displays showing real-time data from across the galaxy. The quarantine taught us something valuable, Blake says, pacing before the gathered species. It taught us that isolation breeds innovation, but cooperation breeds miracles. Behind her, the screens display the latest achievements. Planets once ravaged by pollution, now healing thanks to human environmental technology. Species on the brink of extinction, flourishing with engineered solutions. Diseases vanishing before enhanced medical knowledge. Former council leader Nexus sits in the audience, no longer in chains but under house arrest. His rehabilitation program, designed by Dr. Torres, seems to be working. The hatred in his compound eyes has been replaced by something else. Understanding, perhaps. Or shame. We could have come in guns blazing, Captain Stone adds from his position near the chamber's entrance. Our ships could have decimated the old council's fleet. But that's not who we are. That's not what we learn from being abandoned. The captain activates a holographic display, showing the true extent of humanity's military capabilities. Ships that can traverse dimensions, weapons that could unravel reality, defenses that make them virtually untouchable. The assembled representatives gasp, not at the weapons, but at the fact that humanity developed them and chose not to use them. Your greatest mistake, Blake continues, wasn't abandoning us. It was underestimating us. You thought isolation would weaken us? It forced us to become stronger. You thought a pandemic would break us? It taught us to cure death itself. You thought leaving us alone would keep us contained. She laughs, and the sound echoes through the chamber. It freed us to become something you never imagined. Security Chief Raven steps forward, her troops now integrated with human peacekeepers. The old council's emergency protocols have been completely dismantled. The last holdouts have accepted the new reality. Not through force, I add, rising to stand beside her, but through demonstration. Show a species a better way, and they'll choose it themselves. Dr. Amanda Torres activates another display, this one showing the medical revolution sweeping across the galaxy. Every species that joins the new council receives immediate access to our medical database. No more hoarding knowledge, no more artificial scarcity. But what about those who oppose us, asks a nervous representative from the outer systems. Captain Stone grins. Funny thing about that. Hard to oppose someone who keeps saving your people and asking nothing in return. Nothing Nexus speaks up for the first time, his voice hollow. You could demand reparations, revenge. Why don't you? Ambassador Blake walks over to him, her expression stern but not unkind. Because that's what you would do. And we're not you. The chamber falls silent as she returns to the central platform. A holographic Earth spins above her head, surrounded by humanity's achievements. The new council operates on 3 principles she announces: transparency, cooperation, and advancement. Any species that agrees to these principles is welcome. Those who don't, well, they're welcome to watch as the rest of us progress without them. I activate my personal recording device, knowing this moment needs to be preserved. The human approach to galactic dominance is unlike anything in our records, I dictate. They achieve total victory without firing a shot. Their revenge? Helping those who wronged them. Their punishment? Forcing us to be better than we were. Dr. Torres approaches me during the recess, holding a medical scanner. Ready for your treatment, Commander. I extend my aged arm. The scanner hums, and I feel the nanites beginning their work. My scales slowly regain their youthful sheen. Why help me, I ask? I was part of the council that abandoned you. You kept record, she replies simply. You witnessed. You made sure we knew the truth. That makes you part of the solution. The chamber reconvenes as species after species pledges to join the new order. Not out of fear, but out of hope. The humans didn't just defeat the old council. They made it obsolete. Computer, historical notation, I speak into my recorder. The great irony of the quarantine has been recorded. In trying to prevent humanity from becoming too powerful, the council created exactly what they feared. But humanity became something far more dangerous than a military threat. And what's that, Security Chief Raven asks, overhearing. They became an example. Ambassador Blake concludes the session with a final announcement. Earth's quarantine wasn't just lifted, it was reversed. Any species seeking advancement, any people seeking hope, any world seeking a better way, Earth welcomes you. I watch the faces of the assembled representatives. Not a trace of fear, not a hint of resentment, only anticipation. Final log entry I dictate. Humanity's response to 50 years of abandonment can be summarized in a single word: welcome. Captain Stone approaches, offering me a datapad. Ready to help us map out the unexplored regions? We've got ships ready to go. I look around the chamber one last time. At the humans who turned betrayal into triumph. At the aliens who chose cooperation over conflict. At the future we're building together. Yes, I say, accepting the pad. I believe I am. End final recording.